Welcome to Quick Tutorial Tuesday with Oktofred. After this video, you will know what an equalizer is, what problems equalizers solve, and how to practically use them. A little reminder up front, I recommend to use good quality headphones because often the changes we do in audio are very subtle, especially for untrained ears. And if you cannot hear the changes I do immediately, I will always have an A/B comparison, which makes it more clear. But remember, practice makes perfect. So why do we need the EQ? The most important thing for me to understand a tool is to ask myself the question, why was it introduced in the first place? For sure, there were specific problems which someone tried to fix. So what problems does the EQ fix and which use cases do we have?
In a typical EQ, we see the frequency spectrum from 20 Hz on the bottom end to 20,000 Hz on the top end, which is the spectrum we hear as humans. The way an EQ works is that you can raise or lower specific frequency bands or cut them out completely. I'm gonna give you the top 3 problems which can be fixed with an EQ, especially in filmmaking. Problem number 1. Frequency balancing. Different audio sources may have imbalanced frequency content, with certain frequencies being too prominent or lacking presence. Equalizers enable you to adjust the level of specific frequencies, allowing for a more balanced and pleasing sound. Especially when you record indoor, there often are unwanted resonances, reflections, or frequency build-ups. Equalizers can be used to mitigate the negative impact of the room on the recorded sound. Problem number 2, creative sound design. Equalizers can be used creatively to shape the sound and create unique effects. By manipulating the frequency content, you can achieve interesting timbre changes, sculpt unusual sonic textures, or add character to the audio. For example, it is very easy to create an effect that makes my voice sound like it is coming through a telephone. Problem number 3, removing unwanted noise. Equalizers with a narrow bandwidth can be used as notch filters to target and attenuate specific frequencies such as hums, buzzing sounds, or unwanted resonances that may have been captured during recording. A typical use case in filmmaking is also removing the low end below 60 to 70 Hz, depending how low your voice is, to remove distracting deep rumbling from the traffic or a water fountain, for example. In DaVinci Resolve, you can find the equalizer in the Fairlight tab, which is the audio editing section of the program. Depending on the channel you want to use it for, there's an EQ only for this track. You can single-click to activate or deactivate it, and double-click to open the settings. In Premiere Pro, you have to search for the parametric EQ, and in Final Cut Pro, the channel EQ is what you're searching for. In all 3 programs, you can either use the EQ effect on a single file, or pop it on the whole track to affect all of the files, which is particularly useful when you have an interview sliced up and don't want to EQ every little chunk of audio.
There are a few different kinds of EQ, but the most powerful is the full parametrical EQ, which allows you to change the frequency, the gain, the Q, and the type for each single instance. An example for another EQ would be a graphic EQ, which does not allow you to change the frequency bands. It's used to shape the overall sound for an instrument, for example. So how do you actually practically work with the EQ?
Strategy 1, frequency swiper. Make a notch and swipe through the frequencies to find one you do not like and pull it down. You can use this strategy for all of the problems mentioned before. First, I'm gonna find frequencies which sound too prominent for my taste, especially around 1200 Hz, 1100 Hz is typically a very nasal sound, which I attenuate a little bit, and depending on the room you're in, there's usually some stuff around 100 to 1000 Hz going on. And in the end, I check if I can remove some low end to remove some unwanted noise. After I cleaned the voice, I can make some style changes. I want to enhance the lower frequencies a little bit to give my voice more presence, and then I also feel like it sounds a little bit muffled, so I enhance the high end.
In the video description below, you'll find links to download the examples from this tutorial to try it by yourself. You'll also find a link to join my audio community in WhatsApp. You get the chance to connect with fellow audio enthusiasts, participate in weekly Q&A sessions, and dive deeper into the world of audio. Join us now and let's elevate our audio skills together. If you want, you can send me some before and after edits to my email, oktofred@gmail.com, and I will give you feedback. Hope to see you in the WhatsApp group. Oktofred out.